I'll call this meeting to order. Welcome everybody to O'Fallon Historic Preservation, October 7th, 2025. With that, may I have roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Dodson?
Present.
Commissioner Goings?
Excused.
Commissioner Dietrich?
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Present.
Commissioner Rowland?
Present.
Commissioner Porter?
Present.
Commissioner Amos?
I'm
Sorry.
here. It's okay.
Commissioner Gunnelson?
Present.
Commissioner Hunt?
Present.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Present.
And Commissioner Watkins.
She's excused.
We do have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Great. Thank you. Okay, with that, would everybody join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everybody had the agenda sent, yeah, we all have the agenda in front of us. Can I get an approval of this agenda?
I approve.
Molly?
Second, Gunnelson.
Donaldson? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that is approved. Okay, the approval of the minutes that was sent to everybody in the email last week. Can I get a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve. Dietrich.
Dietrich?
Gordon.
Dietrich and Hunt? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is approved. Okay. We have citizens' comments.
We do have citizens' comments tonight.
Mr. Michael Duncan?
It can't hurt.
And we got one over there too. Well, my name is Michael Duncan. I'm representing the Winchester Community Historical Society again. I was here last time for the trivia night, which was successful. But I'm here for this Saturday. We're having a Lynn and South Lynn Cemetery tour. It starts at 1:15 and 1:45 tour times. It's basically people stand at the graves and tell those life stories. And your chairman did it for a few years. 7 years. It's $10 admission. You get tickets at the gate. If you don't know where Lynn Cemetery is, if you know where the Winsboro is at Highway Z and Interstate 70, it's like, if you know where the Winsboro Bluffs shopping center is, it's like right across Highway Z. So, and I do have flyers. If you guys let me give them to Amy.
Yeah.
When did you say that was?
This Saturday, October 11th.
It actually is a great fundraising for local communities. I'd like to see this done in O'Fallon, so they can, at one of our cemeteries, so they could actually, one of the groups can raise money, because there's so much history to be told of the people that are actually laid to rest there. So, all right, with that, thank you. The next one was standing committee report. Cemeteries, Mr. Hunt, Commissioner Hunt.
Thanks, Rick. Speaking of the cemetery tours, there hasn't really been any new information or progress on that for a cemetery tour in the city of O'Fallon. It's getting late in the year, so we may have to look at maybe hosting something in the spring if we can get someone who's interested in doing that. So I'll reach out to some of the cemeteries and see what I can find out. There are some haunted history tours being offered on October 12th, 19th, and 26th, put on by the St. Charles County Historical Society from 5 to 8:30. I think they're all currently sold out, but if you're interested, you can still get on the waiting list.
Is that Oak Grove?
Not sure, to be honest with you. I just know St. Charles County Historical's putting it on. Since we don't have anything going on in O'Fallon specifically, somebody may want to do something with that. The other thing is, last month we talked about the veteran burial list, and that we were kind of reaching the end of the road with that. I did send some emails out to our VFW contact and also Councilman Roth. I CC'd Rick on that. We didn't receive any response from either one of those gentlemen. So at this point in time, I think we're going to take the list as it is and turn it over to the state. We will be going to a CLG forum at the end of the month, so maybe we can find out some information as to who we should share that with or how to go about doing that. So moving forward, we're no longer going to actively seek information regarding veteran burials, but if information becomes available, we will certainly include it in the list that we have put together, which is coming up on about 190 names. That's it.
Thank you.
One thing, I can't remember his name, but there was somebody that has been very involved with, I think, the VFW, and of course, is a veteran. I'll have to get you that information when I'm in the Veterans Office.
Yeah, and it might be someone we already have a contact for, but if not, I'll be happy to take that information.
He just died.
Okay.
I have a question for you. At one point, we had talked about having the mayor maybe mention something about the listing at his Veterans Day speech. Did you still want us to have communications add that in?
Yeah, he certainly can do that if he'd like. I know in the past when information has been shared either through a speech or email or any type of communication, it just kind of falls on, doesn't seem to be a whole lot of community interest. So, but he's welcome to do that, and if we get anything as a result, then we will certainly include them in the list that we have.
We can do that. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that is a good idea to have him, if he can put that in his speech, because a lot of people don't look at the other communications out there, but they might hear that being presented to them and look at it and hear it and actually hear it. So that would be a good idea. And with the cemeteries, we actually had a visitor from Kansas City that actually did a tour with the sisters and actually did a tour with at their chapel and their cemetery. And then Councilman John Roth and Bill Harden from the VFW, we actually gave a tour of Sage and talked about it. And this person actually is involved with the Union Cemetery in Kansas City, which is the oldest cemetery in Kansas City, and it has 55,000 souls there. And it is really, and I talked to her this morning, and I can't wait to go out there and visit it, to see what they have. So,
How old is it?
around 1840s or 50s, yeah. It's a real, Caleb Bingham, the old painter, is one of the people there. And, I learned about his paintings years ago on the river, and it was pretty neat. But with that, it was nice to see somebody come in town just for those events, just to see our cemeteries. I thought that was pretty nice. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hunt. Standing, the Education Commissioner Rowland.
Okay, we had a subcommittee meeting that was made up of Rick, Kathy, and myself, and we can't hold that. Yeah, you hold that, because it's like, here will be the format for the brochure that we've been talking about. At the back side, where the PBT is, will be where we put our information and any other info needed. We decided that we would break down for each page. How it would be broke down is we'd have Fort Zumwalt with the fort, Healed Home, and the Model Railroad Club if they want to be part of it. At Dames Park, which would be another page, we do the Veteran Memorial Monument, the burial mounds, and the Audrain Settlement Memorial. Then we would do the historical buildings on Main. I don't know if we can get the sisters all along with them, or we do a separate page for the sisters, because you guys got a lot of history in town. And, but then the Krekel Westhoff House, Goodwood, or Westhoff Mercantile, and the Krekel Depot. Then we wanted, we're talking about trying to use one for just Sage, but again, we may need to put that with Assumption, just so that we have enough space for everything. We're going to do Mount Zion. I have to get a hold of Cornerstone, and there's some Indian mounds somewhere, possibly,
Yes. No,
at Mount Zion.
Mount Zion.
They've been built over, but we'll need to get out there and look.
yeah.
Then we have Boonslick, that starts actually in St. Charles, but goes out past Wentzville. You know, Salt River Road, we wanted to look into because Rick said that was how the settlers brought stuff in on flatboats. On what, I don't know that you consider it a river as much as more it's a creek, but, and Peru Creek and Civic Park Log Cabin. Then if we have enough, we'll still have the other cemeteries, Guthrie, Assumption, and like I said, possibly Mount Zion and the Indian Mounds again there. It just depends. But this is the way the format is going to be. So, any questions? Any suggestions of something that we missed? Or
I think it's just better once we start writing up, everybody starts writing up on it, then we see what we have. I think on the memorial in Dames Park, I don't know how long it is, Councilman John Roth said that he has all that information, and he will get that to me,
okay,
because he did that work, him and Bill Harden. So that is it. And, you know, we might have to edit some, we might have to, because we have to, the other thing is we need to get with Tanya and Amy on who has to go on that page, who we who we state helped us out, and their if there's any symbols of their organization that have to go on there, whatever, that it takes up that space there. So, I mean, there's a lot to it, and we have to have that done in 4 weeks, or 4 months, at least, enough so I can go back to the groups and let them know where we're at.
I'd like to add that we're trying to figure out how to put a QR code on the pamphlet because do you know how to do it? Oh, great. I knew somebody would. No, I know. Because there's so much information and there's just not enough room. So I think having the QR code to access more information would be awesome.
Did you have anything about Alexander Archer, the slave, the first freed slave in the area?
Is
On your list?
no.
Well,
We can try.
I mean, that could probably go under with Sage if we did that.
Okay.
There's a part of the city of O'Fallon's property that is close to that creek. So we could do a little brief on that, I guess. So.
Okay.
Anything else on that? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. Cheryl, you have anything? You done? Okay, thank you. Commissioner Amos, on our historic designations, do you have anything of what's going on?
Well, we have some photos that we're going to present. I don't know if we're going to do that now, of the Woodlawn property.
Yeah, that'll be on number 2.
Okay. That's really all that we have.
Did we get any response from the other people we've talked to?
Not that I've gotten. I have not gotten anything personally.
We have some people that we've reached out to, and they have not they haven't came back and set up with us. They actually have items that they found in the cellars and stuff like that too that they wanted to share with us. So I'm looking forward to we can get that done maybe on our little break in November. Okay, thank you, Ms. Amos, Commissioner Amos. Okay, with our new business, we have an update with Tanya.
All right, so I was planning to update you on the strategic plan as it relates to the Historic Preservation Commission. As you may or may not know, last year when we submitted our application to recertify as a CLG under the state, one of the items they had requested is that we look at putting something related to history and the Historic Preservation Commission within the city's strategic plan. So we met, being the directors as well as city council members, met back in August to go through what the strategic plan would look like for the next 4 years, my apologies. And one of the items that was adopted related to the Historic Preservation Commission, so I'll read that to you. So the goal is to promote public understanding, appreciation, and long-term stewardship of O'Fallon's historical assets. And by doing that, we are to find opportunities to promote and preserve O'Fallon's historical assets. This is an ongoing process that we see lasting throughout the term of the strategic plan. So I don't know that this is anything new that we haven't already been doing. It's more to just cement this into the strategic plan. So when we go to recertify again under the state, we will be able to show that we have adopted that as part of our strategic plan moving forward, and then demonstrate that we are actively meeting this goal throughout your all's efforts. So that's the update I have. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I'm good. Because I was just like, we're already doing that. It just wasn't in writing, really, I guess.
Yeah, it just cements it and kind of adds the importance of this to the city's overall strategic plan moving forward. So you guys are very important to that, obviously. So we
And, it feels good to know that we are important too. It really does, because our efforts aren't wasted.
Yep.
And it makes and that feels great. It does. It really does. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you all for all that you do.
Okay, the next one we're going to do is the application on Woodlawn property. We're going to have pictures here showing you, and we're going to have to vote on that to move forward to the presentation to the city council. And I don't need to read all that out, do I? Everything was sent to everybody in an email, the documents of that property.
It's under the attachment, so if you have an iPad, and it says Woodlawn app, we didn't want to put the address like just out there, so it's only on our agenda. So, and basically, it is it's a pretty basic form, has the owner, the address, and then Rick has some pictures that I think our communications team might have.
Yes, and just to give you a little, it's the architecture. That home was built in 1914. It's the only house really that's like that on Woodlawn. Actually, in the city of O'Fallon and all our locations, of the city. It was actually built, it was known as the Herman Summers home. I think he's the guy that built this house. And actually the house sits on an acre of land, and in the back of the house, it's in a fenced-in area, is actually a little shed, and it has a privy built onto that, where that was used it was an apple orchard. In that whole area over there was an apple orchard, which is really neat, because orchards were usually anywhere from 100 to 200 acres in this area. So here's the house up here, and that's the one side. And there's stained glass windows up there on that side too. It's all got stained glass windows.
You can see it as you're driving up.
There it is, right there. And it's a pretty house. The backyard, and nothing's really been changed on the outside except the siding.
Are there any historic pictures of this home that prior to?
They are on a calendar that the Historical Society did years ago on it.
Does it have the original facade that was
Underneath it?
prior? Well, do the old pictures are they pictures of the house with its original facade, brick or wood, whatever it is? And then to follow up, because you brought it up, is the original facade under the siding itself?
I believe it is. Yeah, but I believe it is. We didn't get into that. I'm almost positive that I have that picture somewhere too. I don't have that pulled up, but does it have the?
I have like let's see.
No, the other one of those. There it is, right there.
Yeah. So.
It looks like it's got siding on it.
Well, I know we've talked about where my company is at 115. They had to replace the roof and the siding after the hailstorm. So we do have pictures of the old siding. I don't know if that's the original.
Talking with Sharon on that, because Sharon used to be president here, or chair. They just celebrated 101 years, I think, on that building too. Mm-hmm. And she has the paperwork and all that.
What's interesting is that calendar mentions that the home was built on the old Presbyterian property, and that the home used wood from the Presbyterian property and from the church itself to rebuild this home. And that's the architectural information that I was curious about.
Well, and that's a good question, because we had somebody at the rail district come to us that is actually in the old Presbyterian church that turned in as the house now. And we don't have that much information on that, so I have to call the old historians and find out about that. So that would make sense about that that whole area being part of the Presbyterians, because they were actually, and the Methodists were across the street. Yeah. And then Woodlawn was down the road, and that was all part of the same family there. Yeah, I really don't know if all the original what's underneath there anymore, but they had to change it, I know. But it's really a nice house. Most everything around here now has regular vinyl siding on top of it.
This looks like clapboard or something.
Yeah. So those were the houses. We need to vote if we want to put a sign to it. I have a lot of stuff written on here. But yeah, just knowing that's a good thing, was being a Presbyterian and was at their apple orchard, you know. So do we want to vote on this right now? Everybody want to vote on, you want to move it forward?
And Rick, if you want, I can take just a minute to go through the process, because I think this is the first time this committee has done this.
This is the first time we've done it that's not a city-owned building.
First time I've done it too, so I'm going to
Okay.
read my document here. So what you're doing here is having a hearing right now, and then after that, within 45 days, we have to pass a resolution through the commission, so we can help draw that up. And then the commission will look at the resolution along with the report, and it has to be passed by a simple majority of the commission. Then, if you all pass the resolution, we will have to bring it to city council, and there will have to be a public comment period to where the public can comment on the resolution. Then Councilmember Cook over there will nicely propose an ordinance adding the property to our historic landmark list. So it's a process that will take quite a while, but we'll get through it. So what we'll have to do from here, if you all agree to move it forward, is we'll get that resolution prepared, have to wait, I guess, to our December meeting to have you vote on the resolution, and then we'll move it forward to city council from there.
Okay.
And for my edification, what is the outcome and what are the, not consequences, but what protections are afforded that property once it's designated historic landmark?
I'm going to have to.
Not just for
look
you,
that up.
if anybody else knows.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, really, yeah, because, I mean, it can be tore down if needed to.
It just is bragging rights, really.
Yeah.
And would that, the answer then be, I guess, if nationally, if it's recognized as a historic location, that's when the protections come into place?
Somewhat, but not really.
There's workaround.
Yeah. Because if I remember right, when this was created, the preservation, they did not do that, want to dictate to anybody about their homes or anything like that to protect them. And so you can just, it can be torn down if it needs to. We've seen that already happen. Yeah. Now, I mean, like, now you go to St. Charles, it's a different story.
The lawyer mind is,
Yeah, I mean, I know Art, that's what he worked on in Jeff City. That's his specialty. You know, I do know that, but we don't preserve in that area.
And that's why I asked, because it was a fight that we had for about 4 years in order to provide the ability to add some protections to properties that were designated either historic or of a historic nature. We didn't label it historic in the sense that SHPO, or unless we promoted them in a certain way, but it was just the city historic commission. Then we were provided at least the opportunity to bring to the council the basis of why modernization, transformation, or destruction of the property should be prohibited based on the historic and important value that it promotes or provides to the community itself.
And I appreciate your knowledge on this because this is new for us, but I do know we've had several that are, at the building is proposed to be torn down. They do let us know, and we can go out there and check it. And sometimes it's been where they've already taken it apart halfway, you know, but they do let us know, you know, that what has taken place.
Just so we can cry over it, really, I think.
Yeah.
And I can send you all, I'm just trying to go through some of John Grazenauer's old documents here, and I did find a report that has to be presented to the city council that talks about the historical significance. This one's on Dames Park, so as an example, I can send this over to everyone to take a look at as to what needs to be prepared.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. So we need to pass the move forward with the resolution. Vote on that.
I move to move forward the resolution as proposed to designate the property, and I apologize, my iPad went to sleep, located at 411 Woodlawn for historic
Okay.
designation.
Okay, we have one.
I second that.
A second. Molly? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this has been approved. So then you will, Amy or Tanya, you'll write the resolution, or you need us, or you need Art, would you want to work with them on that? If,
Certainly will.
Yeah, what I'll probably look at is an old resolution, again from John's files, and then I may ask for your help in just updating any of the historical information
Okay.
that we need to include in the resolution.
okay, thank you.
I would ask that if somebody at City Hall does have contact with the property owner, if they would be willing to reach out to me to see if we could use any of the photos as part of the resolution to include in that packet.
He took the photos for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything, he's already been prepared. He took the photos for me, sent them to me. So, so yeah, we have all that in his approval. I just told him it'll take a while. It's a process.
And I'll figure out exactly what we need, but I imagine we need something saying that the homeowner agrees with this process.
Okay, and I can
You
get
don't
that-
have it
I can
already,
get
but
that
I'll see if
signed
if
for
there's a
us.
formal document or something, we'll
Yeah.
let you know.
You just let me know and I'll get that signed. All right.
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody, on that. It's really great. Okay, with that, we have Sister Barbara.
Somebody has to.
Oh, you gotta. She's missing, what are you missing a microphone?
He pinned something on me. Oh, is it
You're
mine?
on.
I'm on.
You're on. He's got you set up.
Okay. Well, this is the fourth PowerPoint that I've done, and this one is global ministry. What we have done beyond O'Fallon, reaching out far beyond O'Fallon. Our first ministry was prayer. We were founded to be a contemplative congregation. And our rule book called Constitutions again and again reinforces this with statements like, the sisters therefore will strive to cultivate the spirit of prayer in their hearts so as to make their whole lives a continually prayer. Now, don't try to read this slide. In this word cloud are listed 95 different ministries that the sisters have been engaged in over the years. The following slides will illustrate some of them, not all 95. So, education ministry. Until the 1960s, our primary work was education. The following slides show this. As I said, the sisters were founded to be a contemplative congregation, but the pastor needed teachers for the girls in his parish. Sister Josepha Curie and Sister Aloysia Algier both had the necessary credentials and were qualified to take the state teachers' exams. They were examined and found competent, so they started teaching the girls in August of 1846. In 1857, the congregation received a request for teachers from the parish priest in Gertweil in Baden, near the Black Forest, Germany. Within 10 years, the community of 80-plus sisters was busy with many schools, including an orphanage, a teacher's training school, and a boarding school. In 1867, Reverend Blaise Winterhalter, pastor at St. John's, Illinois, that is Belle Prairie, now Piopolis, visited Germany, and while there invited the sisters to come to America to teach in his parish. The sisters came in 1870 and immediately took over the teaching at the school. In addition to teaching, the sisters took care of the church music and the sacristy. Looking to move from Belle Prairie, Mother Augusta sought help from Monsignor Henry Milsiepen, the vicar for the Archdiocese of St. Louis. He prompted several pastors, among them Reverend Herman Lygraf, the pastor of the newly organized St. Agatha's Parish, to apply for sisters for their schools. The sisters came in 1872 to teach at St. Agatha's, which thus became the first school of the community in St. Louis. Even before we were established in O'Fallon, we were teaching in parish schools all over Missouri.
Wow.
Now we will look at some, as I call them, notable schools. Yeah. The sisters opened a boarding school for girls in O'Fallon in 1878. In 1882, it was transferred to St. Louis under the title of St. Elizabeth Institute, and then renamed St. Elizabeth Academy. The school proudly served girls who had a wide range of abilities and diverse backgrounds. Due to shrinking enrollment, SEA closed in 2013 after 131 years of educating young women. In 1878, the sisters opened a normal school for teachers, which became St. Mary's College of O'Fallon. Only the sisters attended the college until 1960s. Then laywomen and men were admitted. The college boasted an excellent nursing program. The college closed in 1988. The congregation started St. Mary's Academy in O'Fallon in 1964 as a small private Catholic girls' high school, remaining open until 1990. The academy was housed in the former novitiate building. Sister Rosemary Dobelman, that looks funny. Sister Rosemary Dobelman began a Catholic Montessori school, preschool, and grades 1 through 8 at Linda Vista in Chesterfield. The community sponsored the school 1966 to 2007. Okay. The community provided teachers for the education of African American children in St. Louis at St. Nicholas Parish from 1938 to 1989. Okay, all right. And so now we look at some pioneers in the field of education. Sister Renata Strohr was a pioneer in developing special education in the Archdiocese of St. Louis. In 1947, she opened the first special school at St. John the Baptist. The next year, Sister Laureen Linton began special ed classes at Sacred Heart Parish in Florissant, Missouri. In June of 1950, the St. Louis Archdiocese announced plans for a new high school to be called Bishop DuBourg to accommodate an enrollment capacity of 1,600, which grew eventually to 2,300. Our sisters were asked to take responsibility for the operation of the school. Sister Praxedis Schnitzmeyer worked along with the architects to plan the physical layout as well as the innovative administrative pattern. Unique to the school was its design, with each floor housing a different year, and each year having its own coordinator in charge, with a principal presiding over all. Bishop DuBourg High School provided the standard for many high schools built across the United States during the late 1950s through the 1970s. Our sisters staffed Compton Heights Catholic School. It was one of the first consolidated schools combining 4 parish schools. Also, it was one of the first schools to employ teachers from several different religious congregations. Sister Anne Clarice Jaeger served as early childhood education coordinator for the Archdiocese. In 1965, she established the Head Start program for the St. Louis Archdiocese and served as the administrator and supervisor of 20 Head Start centers for 34 years until the program closed in June of the year 2000. Led by Sister Susan Borgell, our community was one of the 3 congregations that started the English Tutoring Project in 1998. The ETP was established to help immigrant and refugee children in several South St. Louis Catholic elementary schools to acquire the skills they needed in order to read and speak English. Sister Rosemary Russell served as teacher and director. Sister Carolyn Posrich and Sister Joyce Schramm served as tutors. Several other Precious Blood sisters provided leadership and tutorial services in the ETP. Marion Middle School, grades 5 through 8, was founded in 1999 by 7 religious congregations, ours being one of them. Serving girls at risk, the school provides an education and beyond graduation, provides support throughout high school and college. We maintain presence on the members board. St. Francis Cabrini Academy, co-ed grades 1 through 8, was established in 2003, was formed from the merger of several parishes. It was established to serve the growing immigrant population in the surrounding neighborhoods. We support the academy because our community's commitment to immigrants. We maintain presence on the board of directors. In 1995, Sister Mary Venard Lebeau began a ministry in Estonia, in the cities of Tallinn and Tartu, where she developed curriculum, manuals, and teacher training for English language instruction. By the way, she was 72 when she started that work and left in 2015 at the age of 92. And she returned to Finland, and there she began ministering to African refugees. She only came home at the age of 100. Sister Joyce Schramm introduced Montessori learning at Solomon Klein in Cochabamba, Bolivia, an orphanage which cares for young orphans and abandoned children. Sister Beatrice Marie Ketterer directed many musicals at Bishop DuBourg High School and St. Elizabeth Academy. One must also give credit to the many sisters who taught piano lessons and lessons in other instruments and conducted the children's choirs. Many, many sisters did that. A number of sisters have served in the St. Louis Archdiocesan Education Office as supervisors or consultants. Here are 5 who served long terms. No, did I turn too fast? I think I skipped over. There it is. Our sisters have ministered in the field of education in every way possible, as principals, presidents, teachers of primary, elementary, high schools, colleges. Records list a total of 105 parish grade schools where we taught, as well as 10 high schools and several colleges. The sisters have been instructors and directors, coordinators of religious education and parish schools of religion. They have engaged in campus ministry in high schools and colleges. Do I hear her there? Sister Bernarda Bachroth wrote manuals for the Faith and Freedom readers. Okay. Next one then. The Ecclesiastical Art Department was begun in Gertweil in 1858 as a source of income for the community. The sisters continued the work when they came to the United States in 1870. The department produced materials that would enhance divine services, such as vestments, banners, paraments, mitres, and linens. Before Vatican Council II, the department served only the Catholic Church. In the 1960s, the sisters began to respond to requests from other denominations, namely Lutheran, Methodist, Episcopalian, and United Church of Christ. The sisters received and filled orders for such items from all over the United States and several other countries. The sisters taught their skills in ecclesiastical embroidery and vestment making to several religious communities of sisters. Sisters from Ghana, Africa, came to learn this art and opened their own ecclesiastical art department. Most recently, in 2007, the Benedictine Sisters of Mary, Queen of the Apostles, were introduced to our techniques and developed their own department. Sister Alphonse Marie Gators adapted Latin Gregorian chants to English, published as plain song propers. Sister Luella Dames, Sister Marilyn Schneider, and many other sisters served as organists in parishes and at the Mother House. Sister Hiltrudis Powers created this coat of arms for Bishop John Worm, auxiliary bishop of St. Louis Archdiocese, and then he became bishop of the Belleville, Illinois Diocese. Sister Mary Beth Kemper created a triptych featuring St. Rose Philippine Duchesne for the parish in Florissant, and this is the central panel of that triptych. Okay, now we look at ministries to the disadvantaged. St. Agatha Center and Food Pantry. When the sisters left St. Agatha School in 1972 after teaching there for 100 years, the convent became a house of prayer. But soon, the needs of the people became apparent. St. Agatha Center and Food Pantry answered those needs, providing not only food, but utility assistance and education about management and finances and other resources. Each year at Christmas, they organized a shopping event. The food part was discontinued in 2019 when a food pantry opened nearby. Other services were continued until 2025 when St. Agatha ceased operation. Sister Claire Ann Litigan continues the non-food ministry through Guardian Angel Settlement. St. Anthony Food Pantry began in 1995, provides food, personal care items, and clothing to needy families in the city of St. Louis. The pantry uses many additional resources to help its families work for change in their lives. Sister Marie Orff has worked in the pantry for years, giving out food, clothing, and other items, and writing many grants for funds. Sister Carmen Schneider does the bookkeeping, and Sister Ellen Orff volunteers her services. Sisters Laverne Wester, Robert Ann Harper, and Carol Boschert volunteered at St. Joachim and Ann Service, the primary provider of programs for individuals, families, and children in the Tri-County area of St. Charles, Lincoln, and Warren. Sister Laverne served as receptionist. Sister Robert Ann helped the administrative staff, and both are now deceased. Sister Carol served as caseworker for Hispanic clients. She is retired. Sister Monica Schieber has worked in West Virginia for about 30 years, serving the residents of the small communities of Genoa and Wayne. Her ministry includes food pantry work, responding to emergencies, leading Bible study, volunteering with hospice, and working for the board of the Catholic Committee of Appalachia. She is still there. Next, we look at some ministries for the elderly. Next. Adult daycare was an innovative concept in 1981 when St. Elizabeth Adult Daycare Center was opened to care for the elderly and younger persons with disabilities. Sister John Antonio Miller, the founder and director, established the criteria that participants that participants 60 years and older should be continent able to feed themselves and provide their own transportation. The first person to inquire was a daughter whose mother had Alzheimer's and did not fit any of the criteria at all. So Sister John rewrote the criteria. Sister John said, every time we found something that didn't fit, we looked at it and changed our criteria, if it was possible to do that. And that's the way we've operated ever since. Okay. Over the years, Sister Joanne Faust served as site manager at Lime, and Sister Alphonsine Henke, herself old enough to be a participant, helped at the St. Elizabeth site. Other sisters, too many to name, were employed or volunteered. Under Sister John's directorship, over the 37 years that our community sponsored the SEADCC, 14 centers were opened and some closed. Sister John Antonio served as director until 2018, when sponsorship was transferred to the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word of San Antonio, Texas. At present, they maintain 4 centers. Sister Dorothy Ann Katke ministered to the elderly, the sick, and the homebound of the parish. She obtained services for them, which gave them the ability to stay in their homes longer with better quality of life. Regina Clary is the St. Louis Archdiocesan Home for Retired Priests. Sister Hortense Hemmer served as director for 19 years. Sister Geraldine Vogel followed her and served as director for 16 years. Sister Mary Luke served as sacristan for about the same length of time. Several sisters, including Sister Charlene Grieshaber and Sister Helen Rufer, worked in the office. Sister Joanne Reuter attended as a visiting nurse. Okay, healthcare ministries. Sister Mary Louise Weiss and Sister Mildred Himmelberg established a pastoral care department at St. Elizabeth Hospital in Belleville, Illinois. Sister Sheila Prendeville spent almost 30 years at St. John's Hospital in Springfield, Illinois. Sister Donald Olson ministered at St. Joseph Hospital West in Lake St. Louis for many years. Sister Joni Belford and a number of other sisters have served as chaplains. Sister Helen Ann Schneider spent 15 years as a chaplain at DePaul Hospital in Bridgeton. Later, Sister Pat Knobby completed 10 years in hospitality ministry there. Sister Pat Muller worked as a radiologic technologist in several hospitals. So ministries with immigrants. Sister Paulette Weindell celebrated both her silver and her golden anniversaries of profession while she was director of the Immigrant and Refugee Ministry at St. Pius V Parish on South Grand in St. Louis. She assisted immigrants and refugees who settled in the neighborhoods surrounding the parish, welcoming them and locating resources for them. She helped refugees from Afghanistan, Vietnam, Bosnia, Burma, Myanmar, and many countries in Africa. Although she retired in 2014, she keeps on helping. Recently, she said, "I continue to listen to stories of suffering and hope as I advocate for justice. Their friendship changes me in the process and helps me develop a global heart." Okay. Many sisters have engaged in ministry to Spanish-speaking people. Here in the United States, Sister Dolores M.G. found a ministry to the immigrant poor through the Catholic Hispanic Center in the Archdiocese of St. Louis. She served first as a member of the staff and then as director of the center. Sister Barbara Jean Vogelgesang ministered to the Hispanic population in Anchorage, Alaska. Sister Eileen Schieber, director of Hispanic ministry in Sedalia, Missouri, worked 13 years with refugees and immigrants, helping many obtain citizenship and and others with ICE-related needs. As a physician's assistant, Sister Carol Boschert built health clinics in Texas and Illinois. Sister Ellen Orff still has an active ministry, tutoring several persons in English. So, pastoral and parish ministries. In 2010, Sisters Carol Orff and Ginny Jaskowitz began the Sandwich Christi Spirituality Center, which provided spiritual direction and programs for personal enrichment, including private retreats and desert days. Now, Sister Mary Cecile and Teresa Jezel lead the prayer days. Sister Rita Keevan served as a pastoral minister at Immaculate Heart of Mary Cathedral Parish in Las Cruces, New Mexico for 12 years. She was one of the first women working in the RCIA program for new Catholics. In 1985, she founded Our Lady of Guadalupe Prayer Center as a place to teach prayer and spiritual growth. She spent the next 25 years there, guiding adults in their faith development. Many sisters ministered in parishes in many dioceses. The list of job titles is by no means complete. The sisters pictured here represent the many. So now we move outside the United States. In 1939, at the invitation of Bishop Willem Kabin of Finland, the congregation sent sisters to establish an English school in Helsinki. They arrived in June. World War II broke out in September. The Russians attacked Finland in November. The sisters were urged to flee. They did, briefly, but returned to Finland and remained with the people, taking care of children for the duration of the war. Because of the war, the school was not begun until 1945. It continued under the supervision of the sisters until management was transferred to the Catholic Diocese of Helsinki in 1992. The sisters continued to teach in the school. A new English school in Tampere was opened in 1957. As in Helsinki, the first ministry was teaching. Later, ministries expanded to include service to the parish. From the first sisters who arrived in 1939 to the last sister who left in 2023, in those 84 years, altogether 33 sisters ministered in Finland. In the mid-1950s, Pope Pius XII called upon all religious congregations of women religious to send 10% of their members to work in the mission field in Latin America. Mother Lorenza Holtman responded. We went to Peru in September of 1957 to staff a grade school in Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish in Lima. In time, the teaching broadened to include a high school, which served 3 parishes. Here, Sister Helene Rufer represents all the teachers who taught. She says that she taught world history, religion, and guidance in Spanish, which she had to learn for the teaching, and English, which she taught in English. Sister Maria Luz Mejia Vasquez is a Peruvian citizen. For a long while, she ministered in Bolivia. Now she is back in her native Peru. She works as a volunteer at Our Lady of Light Parish. She brings communion to the homebound, leads adult catechetical instruction and a prayer group, meets with the members of the Solidarity Kitchen, which prepares lunches for a group of elderly people, and does whatever else needs doing. Around 1970, the mission in Santa was initiated. The parish of Our Crucified Lord comprises some 15 towns and numerous settlements going up into the Black Range of the Andes. The first assignment in Santa was to teach religion in the public schools. This evolved into adult education covering more topics than religion or reading. The sisters provided, after the 1970 earthquake and the devastating flood of 1974, the sisters provided coordination between government agencies, Catholic charities, and international organizations to obtain help for rebuilding. In 1980, two of our sisters moved from Santa to Makate in the upper reaches of the Santa parish to be more accessible to the far-flung towns and settlements on that side of the mountain. Sister Josepha, Carol, Agatha Marie, and Rosa Marie Merthinger, and other sisters worked in Santa and Makate. Sister Domitilla worked for a time in the town of Tacna on the southern border with Chile. My favorite picture is the one of Sister Josepha riding the Peruvian all-terrain vehicle. Okay. Sister Rosa Maria Ludenia Cordova spent 15 years in Arequipa, Peru. She served as an administrator at the cathedral, where she oversaw the preparations for the 12 masses a day, 7 days a week. After she left the cathedral, the bishop asked her to work in a homeless shelter, caring for the elderly residents. After this, she worked as a parish minister, visiting and taking communion to the sick and elderly. When COVID came, she gave reflections over the telephone and cell phone. She offered counseling to many. The sisters established themselves in Cristo Rey Parish in La Paz with ministries that, as Sister Christine Feller said, had us going in all directions. A clinic established by Sister Christopher Fiala and later directed by Sister Christine provided medical help as well as midwife training and nutrition education. Sister Christine herself acted as midwife. Sister Mary Bernard Rechtine started a sewing co-op, teaching the women to sew and to make their own patterns. The sisters worked to establish family outreach programs and clinics. A parish school was started in 1962, but for the children who were not able to attend the school, the sisters provided religious instructions so the children could receive their first Holy Communion. Ministry was discontinued at Cristo Rey when the St. Louis Archdiocesan priests were reassigned. The Amanasir Foundation, the word Amanasir means dawn or sunrise, works with affiliated institutions which house and support Cochabamba's street children. Under the Amanasir umbrella are Solomon Klein, Sayariqui, Casa Nazareth, Madre de Dios, and Yacuna, all places where our sisters worked. Sister Carol Donahue ran programs for older street boys at Sayariqui, a daytime center. Sister Mary Therese de Moore spent many years at Madre de Dios and then moved to Solomon Klein Orphanage, where she cared for small and abandoned children. Sister Mary Catherine Felderworth took care of younger boys at Casa Nazareth, a residential facility. These are only 3 of the almost 24 sisters who worked in Cochabamba. At Maria Reina Parish in La Paz, Bolivia, Sister Guglielmina, better known as Sister Gichi, ministers with people in social programs such as promotion of women, school support, an elderly group called Golden Age, assistance to patients with cancer and other needs as they arise. Someone referred to her as a Jill of all trades. Sister Maria Jesus is a registered nurse. She provided patient care in hospitals and clinics in Cochabamba for many years. She worked with a group called Volunteer Pink Ladies, who provide support in different areas, like the maternity unit and pediatrics unit, with child burn victims and children with cancer. 4 mornings a week, she worked with the volunteers in the pharmacy, where they distributed donated medicines to persons who needed them. When she retired from nursing, she continued to serve in the healthcare ministry. In addition to the home parish, San Pedro serves 76 outlying villages. Sister Julia Marie Wolfe did sacramental preparations and liturgy preparations, especially during Holy Week. She presided at services when there was no priest. She visited the sick and dying and directed a cemetery ministry. She worked with various groups of children, youth, and adults. You might find her in the library with a prayer group or in the soup kitchen. In short, she did whatever was needed. Over the years, from 1957 until now, 50 sisters have ministered in South America, and 2 are still there. Sister Maria Luz in Peru and Sister Gichi in Bolivia. All right, some unique ministries. Maybe you think a lot of these already are unique, but, all right, next slide. Okay. The Superior General, our congregational leader, appointed sisters to their various missions and ministries. Thus, their influence extended beyond their office in O'Fallon. Okay. When an orphan home for Italian children was founded in St. Louis around 1930, the board of directors was not able to find an Italian-American community of sisters to care for them. One board member, Cesare Ciccazola, had a daughter in our community, Sister Mary Rose. The board approached Mother Wilhelmine Vogelpohl to ask if we would take the orphanage. The reply was affirmative, and that is how a community of mostly German heritage sisters came to take care of mostly Italian orphans. For many years, Sister Sandra Barton and Sister Mary Matthew Kimenow provided foster care for infants and young children whose health was compromised by addiction or delayed development. Now, Sister Sandy provides respite care for parents who need a break. Sister Toni Temperiti started a program called Microfinancing Partners in Africa in 2006. The program makes small startup loans to women so they can create businesses and services and thus work themselves out of poverty. She retired from MFP in 2023, and in 2024, she began a new project called African Ministry Fund. This project involves taking care of children who are aging out of orphanages, women who work in the streets, and microfinancing projects. She works in collaboration with the Missionary Sisters of the Precious Blood in Africa. The African Ministry Fund works in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay. As a volunteer, Sister Barbara Schlatter coordinated and taught in the high school equivalency program for inmates at the Potosi Correctional Center. She also tutored at-risk youth in the Innovative Concept Academy in St. Louis, an alternative 712 school for juveniles who might otherwise be incarcerated. Sisters Ruth Kurtz and Esther Hogan began REC, Residence Encounter Christ, in the 1980s as part of prison ministry to both men and women in Jefferson City. They also started CHIPS, Challenging Incarcerated Inmates' Parents, for inmate parents, and House of Clare as an alternative to prison for women. In 2013, together with several American Association of University Women, Sister Esther and Ruth started the St. Charles Coalition Against Human Trafficking Education and Awareness Program. Joining the Tiger Lily Resources Program in St. Louis, they continued their ministry of advocacy and reconciliation until they retired. In 1987, Sister Eileen Schieber took the position of Vicar for Religious for the Diocese of Toledo, Ohio. Some months later, she met a young gay man and his mother who invited her to a meeting for a group of volunteers who wanted to provide companionship for those living with HIV/AIDS. They sponsored an organization called NOVA, No One's Victory Alone. After attending the meeting, Sister Eileen soon became a NOVA buddy and ultimately accepted a full-time position as its executive director. Sister's 5-year-long ministry of advocacy for people with HIV/AIDS led to the establishment of the residence called David's House. Sister Eileen's story is told in a documentary called Sister Eileen and Her Boys, produced and directed by Holly Hay and shown on WGTE Public Media TV in June of 2024. In 1947, at the request of Cardinal Joseph E. Ritter, 3 sisters moved to 4510 Lindell to take care of the 3040 room house and its residents. Guests have included Bishop Fulton Sheen, cardinals, foreign bishops, along with a retinue of their aides. The sisters cooked 3 meals a day, prepared the chapel for Mass, answered the phone and doorbell, did the laundry and housework, and did whatever else needed doing. The sisters provided these services until we withdrew in 1994. Sister Arilda Pankey was there for 36 years, serving the needs of 3 archbishops. In 1969, Sister Jean William began her ministry as an engineer at the Mother House in O'Fallon. At first, she worked with the plant engineer, Richard Hilpert, who taught her about keeping systems running, anticipating breakdowns, and efficient management practices. For 22 years, Sister Jean William maintained our buildings. She had many titles: plant manager, fleet coordinator, engineer, and staff supervisor. And that's the last of the unique ministries, okay? Now, partners in mission. Already in the 1980s, the number of sisters was declining, while the laity were finding more opportunities to be of service to the church. In an effort to secure the continuation of our mission, we sought to involve lay members more directly in our life and ministry. We started an associate program called CPPS Partners in Mission. Partners are not expected to provide any monetary assistance to the community. Partnering with the community offers an opportunity for individuals who share the same sense of mission and commitment to respond to God's call while continuing their own living and working situations. Every partner belongs to a small faith community, each with a sister mentor. These small groups give the members fellowship and support. The members of each small faith community determine how they will further the mission and ministry of the sisters. We foresee our completion as a congregation. As of this October 2025, we have 59 living members. That's the group in the middle. And few of them are still engaged in active ministries. Our partners in mission are more important than ever because it is they who will carry on our mission and legacy. There comes a time when a sister can no longer engage in an active ministry because of age or infirmity. Now her ministry becomes prayerful presence and an offering of her afflictions for the needs of the church and the world. We were always a small congregation. We reached our highest membership of living sisters, 612, in the summer of 1967. Even though small, In the 180 years of our existence, our ministries have taken us to 28 of the 50 United States and 10 countries, including our 3 European foundations. We indeed have had a global ministry. And a few last words. For it is you, O Lord, who have accomplished all we have done. The end.
Thank you, Sister Barbara. You know, I didn't realize Duburg, you guys were down in Duburg. The sisters were down there teaching, because a lot of my neighbors actually are out here are from, they graduated from Duburg. And it's you know, and then they had family in St. Elizabeth, so it's.
I don't know why it looked funny on the screen. The titles and so forth were squished together at the top.
They like doubled up on them a little.
Yeah, it was fine. It's fine on my computer at home.
We understood it. You did a fantastic job through this 4-part. It's been wonderful to preserve your legacy like this and have it digitized.
I have enjoyed doing it.
And you did a fantastic
You're not going to ask me for a 5th one, are you?
no, unless you had one.
Well, I had an idea that if you asked me for a 5th one, I knew what I was going to do.
Okay, do it. It'll be in December, though. It'll be in December.
Oh, that would be good.
Okay.
What I will do is a detailed tour, virtual tour of the chapel and our heritage areas.
Oh, fantastic. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Does anybody have any questions? We really appreciate you. Really, really do. Thank you.
I'm glad to do it. Thank you for inviting me.
And we look forward to December.
December. I'm glad to have November off.
Okay, with that, I did not do this on our last meeting, but I wanted to welcome our new commissioner, Commissioner Porter. Kathy Porter, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Like what?
I don't care.
Hello, and it's lovely to be here.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, I guess you know what, I have to have something. I've been in O'Fallon since 1997. We lived off of Bryan Road. And then and I was a teacher. I taught language arts and social studies. We moved into the house at the dead end on 3rd Street. So it's a very old home with a very unique history. We can't pinpoint exactly when it was built, but it really got me excited about history in O'Fallon. I was already excited about it, but the home, I live right behind the Civic Park log cabin, and I can't wait to get that back up and running in some way. I would love to be part of that, but I'm just really glad to be part of this.
Thank you, welcome, welcome, glad to have you here.
So on the all other items as it may arise, one more push for October 25th is the CLG Forum in Jefferson City. I'm signing up Commissioner Hunt, Commissioner Dotson, and then Tanya and I are going. So if anybody else wants to go, just let me know. I'm going to register everybody officially tomorrow, but I just didn't want somebody to miss out if they wanted to go. And then our state report is due usually, I think it's due at the end of November. So if you have attended any trainings regarding any kind of historic preservation, just email me. I think with our presentations that we've had at each of our meetings, we've fulfilled the training requirements that each commissioner is supposed to have. But if you have any more, just email me and let me know what you've done.
I was going to say on that issue, the state didn't have anything training this year. That I noticed.
I did the Brownfield.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know of too many that they've sent my way that I've
Mine
seen,
either,
so.
yeah.
All right, and then finally, we had the volunteer banquet was on Friday, the 3rd, and I think you have some names, Rick?
I do. I'd like to recognize some people right off the bat. Sister Cecile, you had 10 years. Congratulations there. Janet Watkins had 8 years. John Goings had 12 years. I had 5 years. Cheryl Rowland achieved the Bronze Volunteer Service Award, which is 100 to 249 hours.
Nice.
And then also, we had the O'Fallon Recording Secretaries for the Board and Commissions and Committees won the Team Excellence Award. So Amy, thank you very much for all you do. And then we have one other person that had 19 years. And would you head down to the podium, Mr. Don Dietrich?
What?
Would you head down to the podium,
I guess I could.
please?
Sister, how are you?
And then you get to give a
Fantastic.
speech.
Oh, always.
So I would like to just read the letter that was given to us to present to Don. The City of O'Fallon has been recognizing the contributions of its volunteers for over 25 years. Reaching a milestone is no small achievement. It's rewarding to all because together we get to pause to recognize and celebrate the incredible dedication of our long-term volunteers. We're pleased to announce to you, Don, that your dedication and years of efforts have been recognized by the City of O'Fallon. Through your volunteer service, you have achieved the level of commitment required to receive the 19 Years of Service Milestone Award. Enclosed is a Year of Service pin and a milestone certificate signed by Mayor Bill Hennessy and Volunteer Services Manager Kathy Halstead. The City of O'Fallon, its elected officials, city staff, and residents are grateful for all those who contribute to better our community.
Thank you.
Here's your.
Beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm never speechless. So why start now? I really want to thank the Sisters of the Most Precious Blood. I was a student at Assumption and taught by the sisters, and very blessed to be able to serve Mass at many of their Masses in the early morning, way back when. Very blessed to have grown up with Assumption Parish, being a student there, and then at St. Dominic. I've raised 4 of my children here, and 5 grandchildren are following us up. O'Fallon is a beautiful place to grow up. It really is. There's a lot of history here, and this Preservation Committee, that's our responsibility really, is to point out to people how rich of a community that this is in O'Fallon. But I appreciate the honor. I am honored, and thank you very much. God bless.
And I have one more, well, she gets recognized again because I wanted to recognize her achievements in HR as well. If you don't know, Amy is an HR generalist with the City of O'Fallon, and she recently went through a course through the Public Sector Human Resources Association in which she received a certification titled HR Analytics for the Public Sector. This demonstrates her dedication to continuous learning and her commitment to using data-driven strategies to strengthen our HR practices. I know I can say I don't know what our team would look like without Amy. I mean, we have a great team, but Amy contributes so much, and I just wanted to extend my appreciation for all she does for the commission and for the city as a whole.
Amy, you have anything to say?
I said thank you.
She will be speechless.
Okay, if no one has anything else, I want to thank everybody for volunteering for the city of O'Fallon. All your work is very well appreciated. The city of O'Fallon appreciates you so much that they give you gifts. They do whatever it can to make you participate, and we become a family in all the organizations that we're involved with, and that's really good. And it's really good to have, Amy, I'm going to tell you, you're fun to work with too, and you keep this going, and you keep up with all these all this stuff going on. You know, you never know what the mind's going to go there, but and you write it down. And I just really do appreciate everybody, and thank you, sisters, for your presentation very much.
We appreciate you.
And with that, I will close. Good night.
Good night.